Welcome everybody to Friday Night Smackdown here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and we are starting off with a Queen of the Ring quarter final matchup, the first one for Smackdown.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Laredo, Texas, Roxanne Perez.
Well, as the Prodigy makes her way down to the ring, we are getting a Backlash rematch here tonight, and of course Roxanne's opponent at Backlash was this woman.
And her opponent, representing Chase University from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thea.
Well, as Thea Hale is having some excitement, I don't know what. Anyways, let's tell you what we got in store for you here tonight. We have that mixed tag match, Becky, Lynch, Seth, Rollins versus Rhea, Ripley, and Dominik Mysterio, a fatal four-way. We'll go into all the technicalities of that later on. King of the Ring quarterfinal matchup in the main event, Hendry versus Jacob Fatu. But right now we have a Queen of the Ring quarterfinal between Roxanne Perez and Thea Hale. Like I said, a Backlash rematch. Roxanne Perez came out on top that night. Will things go the same here tonight? I guess we'll just have to wait and see as time goes on. Let's get this going for this first match of the night. I'm glad I'm actually calling it quarterfinal, and I'm mixing up my words by calling it a semi-final on Raw, because I was trying to be too technical about going, oh, it's technically the semi-final of Raw, but it's the quarterfinal of the whole tournament. It's not helpful. It was not helpful, so I'm glad that I'm just saying quarterfinal now. Though me saying that may now put it in my head that it might be a semi-final. I may mix my words. So if I do end up calling this match or Jake Fatu versus Joe Hendry a semi-final matchup, it is not a semi-final matchup unless you're considering a Smackdown semi-final matchup. But it is indeed the quarterfinal matchup for the King and Queen of Ring tournaments. The first ones for Smackdown, of course, we'll have next ones next week. And the final one's next week for the semi-final. Oh, sorry, quarterfinals. Jeez, I'm doing it already. It's too many. Semi-quarters, finals, whatever. Of course, Cora Jade and Dakota Kai for the Smackdown. Sorry, for the women's side of things, and of course, for the men's side of things, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. So the winner of this will take on the winner of Dakota Kai and Cora Jade, which can be very interesting. We know the history between Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade very well. Could be an interesting turn of events if that happens. And nonetheless, Roxanne's got to get through Thea for that. And Cora Jade's got to get through Dakota Kai. Jeez! Well, Thea Hale tried to get through some ropes, which he did successfully, but didn't quite get Roxanne Perez on the other side. Jeez! They got the floor instead, now the barricade. He's Roxanne Perez. Oof. Had a little bit of an ego boost once she beat Ronda Rousey in a no-holds-barred submission match at WrestleMania. And she is really believing that Prodigy title now that she was donned upon. She's really feeling every little bit of it and is fueling her ego. But you can't lie, if she's only gotten wins so far. Like I said, she beat Jason Jane to get into this. No, sorry, before her match at Backlash. She beat Thea Hale at Backlash and, of course, won her previous Ring tournament matchup as Thea Hale. Now getting that head scissor. Can she get a win here tonight? Jeez. Thea Hale, jeez. Oof, what she's got in store for Roxanne Perez here. Oof. Send her against the rope. Oof. No, Roxanne Perez gets out of harm's way. Jeez. I'd argue Roxanne Perez had the better season last year. Oof. Between these two. Oh, kick there by Thea Hale. Though, to be fair. And again, actually, Thea Hale did win the Women's Tag Team Championship. Sure, Roxanne Perez got that WrestleMania win. Thea Hale still ended up at WrestleMania in that four-way Women's Tag match for the Women's Tag title. So actually, kick out there by Roxanne Perez. Now thinking about it, I'd say they both had solid seasons. Roxanne had a few women's title matches. She was in the first one at Backlash. Lost out to Zelina Vega. Like I said, she had some great opportunities. Never, and like I said, beat Ronda Rousey twice. One of them being a WrestleMania in that no-holds-barred submission match as Roxanne now. Jeez, 1, 2, 4, kick out there by Thea Hale. But yeah, geez, the neck breaker. I guess it's, but Thea Hale did win the Women's Tag Team Championship, so she was injured for a little bit. So maybe Thea Hale had the better season, actually, now thinking about it, considering she was champion. But still, both strong seasons for both of them. Some of the top people of that season, I'd say, especially in the women's division. So, you know, both looking out to have another strong season here this season. Roxanne Perez definitely going on that way with so far already. I swear I had some statistic at one point that she was like one of the most winning superstars at one point. Whether that's still the case, I'm not 100% sure. But she's 1, 2, kick out. I'd imagine she still is pretty much near at the top there. If not at the top. I think she was at the top at one point. Whether that is still the case now. I think it was like along the likes of like her and Randy Orton. Randy Orton will of course see in a King of the Ring quarterfinal match next week. Jeez, done a knee strike against Austin Theory. The winner of that will take on John Cena, who beat Femi on Raw. Jeez. Gets that sent on. Poof. Of course, Naomi beat Alexa Bliss. We'll see Bayley take on Asuka next week on Raw. Of course, the winner of Bayley and Asuka will take on Naomi. Jeez. Wrenching on that. Oof. And then we'll be into the final situation at King Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. And the winner of the Raw tournament, side of tournaments, the winner of the SmackDown side of tournaments would advance. Could it be one of these two women that goes on to King Queen of the Ring to challenge for the Queen of the Ring title thing? I mean, title's in like a Queen title, not as in a championship title. Anyways, nonetheless, Thea Hale up to the top now. Jeez. Oh, Roxanne just about gets out of harm's way. And now looking to take advantage. Jeez, dropping Thea right on her face. Going for that cover. Interesting cover. 1, 2. Kick out there. I mean, it's a very interesting cover, that. I mean, you could put like so much weight on the shoulders. But the way she leans back, it's a different way to shift off the opponent. Like I said, there's always pros and cons to every type of pin. This is now submission being locked up by Roxanne Perez. We're on the head of... I don't think it's quite a figure 4 head scissor, just a regular head scissor, I think. Jeez. Nonetheless, Thea Hale now. Yes, that's snapmare. Oh, it's now she's looking for a submission of her own here. The surfboard stretch, if I am not mistaken. Jeez. Got that knee right in between the shoulder blades. Not a fun place for Roxanne Perez to be in right now. Maybe it looks a bit more of a simple submission, but it is a very painful one. Imagine something being stabbing in between your shoulder blades and being wrenched around it. Not fun, trying to separate those shoulders a little bit. But jeez, Roxanne Perez gets a clothesline, or gives a clothesline for Thea's troubles. Jeez. Roxanne Perez taking very much pride in the fact that she is at least controlling this matchup right now. Sure, Thea Hale got a submission in there, but Roxanne Perez is on control now at least. Jeez. And a slap right to the face. And Roxanne now. Oh, now looking to lock in another submission, this time around... Well, she's got the arm around the ankle and the leg around the lemon thigh. I believe that's an Achilles lock if I'm not mistaken. I'm not the most technical. I know most submissions. Anyways, Thea Hale off the top. Jeez! Takes down Roxanne Perez. Jeez. That was a heavy landing. Sometimes you can somewhat catch your opponent. Some it won't fully be able to stop the momentum. Sometimes it can. But sometimes you can at least block out some of the momentum. I don't think Roxanne was able to catch her at all there. Jeez! I think she had a little bit more catch on that one there. I mean, it felt such a hard landing, but then again, that was a very different kind of drop. Very different kind of jump. Whatever it is, Roxanne Perez is now back on the offensive. Jeez. Picking up Thea now. What's she going to do? Send her back into the ring. I don't know why I thought you were going to send her into the barricade. Wouldn't be surprised. Now heading up to the top rope herself now. Roxanne. Frog splash, no! Thea Hale gets out of the way. Thea Hale. Get ready for something here. Jeez. Golf. What's Thea Hale got in store? Oh, looking for that corkscrew. Neck breaker. Jeez. Roxanne Perez. Back up. Forearm right to the face. Chop. Jeez, Roxanne Perez showing some heart there. That's not what I wasn't quite expecting that. Jeez. And Thea Hale just trying to keep it on her because I think that was pure adrenaline from Roxanne Perez at that point. Jeez. Oof. Maybe he was just trying to fuel her ego further, say, I just got up from that. But jeez, now Thea. Oh, Roxanne's gone over the top rope. Jeez. Oh, yeah, Roxanne's back's hurting. I think maybe she was able to get a little bit of a bounce off the corkscrew neck breaker back up, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a smart idea to get back up straight away. It's Thea Hale sending Roxanne back into the ring now. Jeez. Oh, hang on a minute. What's Candice LeRae doing here? Jeez, just attacking Thea Hale now. Ah, been a miss right to the face. I mean, it was Candice LeRae that got knocked out of the tournament by Thea Hale. After Candice seemed to set out on a mission. Jeez, I don't know what that mission clearly seemed to very much involve Thea Hale. I don't think Roxanne was dealing with the turnbuckle. She saw Candice. Maybe that's what Candice was waiting for. Jeez, a pop rocks. Boy, Roxanne Perez. Jeez, 1, 2, 3. Oh, jeez. The blue mist right to Thea Hale's face. That's the second time we've seen a misting situation recently that's caused chaos. Jeez, I mean, the first one was to the women's champion, Tiffany Stratton. She also got blue mist to the face. Oh, it's quite the mystery. Anyways, Roxanne Perez with the pop rocks is able to score the win here tonight.
Here is your winner, Roxanne Perez.
Well, Roxanne Perez advances to the semi-final. And she'll be taking on Cora Jade or Dakota Kai. We'll have to see who that will be next week, so we can see who Roxanne Perez takes on the week after. Congrats to her. Could be very interesting to take on Dakota Kai or Cora Jade. Plenty of history with Cora Jade, that is for sure. But congrats to Roxanne Perez, even if it was through some shenanigans. She got the win nonetheless. Yo, Joe, I know you've got Fatu in the main event. I was just wondering, do you want some backup? Because I can be there in your corner tonight. Look, Jimmy, I appreciate it, and I know the bloodline is dangerous, especially Fatu, but I need to do this on my own and prove the strength of TNA by being their TNA World Champion and going in this alone and winning King of the Ring by myself. So I appreciate the offer, but I've got to decline. You know, Oos, I respect that, and hey, good luck tonight. I'm rooting for you. Thank you, Jimmy. Well, okay. Seems like Joe Hendry's going to be walking into this himself. I mean, I respect it. TNA World Champion, he's got to prove the strength, but is it the smart approach? I don't know. Anyways, out comes... I don't know what I was going to go with there. A man that has a definitive WWE Universal Championship match at King and Queen of the Ring in a few weeks, but we don't know who his opponent's going to be, because we know that Finn Balor needs to be cleared next week to see if it can be Finn Balor defending his title, or do we have to find an opponent for Rollins to challenge for a vacated WWE Universal title? That's the question on everybody's lips.
Is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth Rollins.
But don't get it twisted, it was this man that injured Finn Balor. Rollins had a bit of a crash-out moment. Oh, he's lathering it up now because he knows that he's still got the WWE Universal Championship match. I mean, he had to keep that match by winning a gauntlet match against other Judgment Day members at Backlash. He was able to keep that championship opportunity. So Rollins definitely earned it, and of course, rematch clause from WrestleMania when Balor beat him and finally re-became WWE Universal Champion. But we may have another situation where Balor has to relinquish that WWE Universal title without actually defending it, just like he did all those years ago when these two men faced off back at SummerSlam back in 2016. Oof. So, as you're all aware, Balor's deadline's coming up. Next week, we find out if he can be cleared for Night of Champions, so Teddy has enough time to find me an opponent for the WWE Universal title if Balor can't be cleared, and it will be vacated by that point. And you're probably wondering, what's my opinions, what's my thoughts, what do I want the outcome to be? And I'm telling you, I want Balor to be cleared. I mean, I wanted him to feel all that pain, but I want to take that title away from him. I want to pry it off his dead, cold hands, not to be gifted to me when it was vacated. So, Balor, I hope you're cleared next week so I can take that title away from you yet again. So good luck on your hospital checkup. You're going to need it. Well, Rollins has said his piece. Now it's time to finish off with the entrances. Poor Becky Lynch has had to wait back there for Rollins to say his piece. But nonetheless, we can get to these matches now. I said these matches like there's multiple matches happening at once, so technically it is 2 one-on-one matches because the men can't fight the women and the women can't fight the men. But nonetheless, let's bring out the other team. Shall we?
And the team of Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio.
Well, this is the part of the Judgment Day that's going to be facing off against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch here tonight. There's a different combination to what it has been before. But anyways, don't forget, still later on tonight, Fail 4 we're against the technicalities of that later. Joe Hendry, Jacob Fatu, King of the Ring, quarter-final matchup. No Jimmy Uso's going to be there. But right now we have a mixed tag action between Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and the Judgment Day. So without further ado, let us get into this one, shall we? Rollins and Dominik starting it off here. Of course, Rollins so far the only one that has a match at King and Queen of the Ring. Though Judgment Day do have a tag title match at King and Queen of the Ring. It is, however, JD, McDonough, and Carlito. Dominik Mysterio not on that card yet. Neither is Rhea Ripley or Becky Lynch. Jesus, Rollins gets that roll up on Dominik Mysterio. 1, 2. Kick out there by Dominik. I mean, we've had a mixed tag match with Rollins and Becky Lynch before. Jeez. And now Dominik taking it in there, he just chinned the super kick. And now we just chinned the turnbuckle. And there's a super kick taking Dominik right back down. Maybe a little bit too much cockiness there from Dominik. I mean, we've seen that he's kind of become the weakest link of the Judgment Day a little bit. With all these roll-ups and situations. Nobody seems to be happy with in the Judgment Day at all. Rhea and seems to be at least still trying to take the side of her boyfriend. But I guess we'll see how things go. His moonsault, of course, like I was saying though. Not the first time that Rollins and Becky Lynch have mixed tag action against the Judgment Day. Though that time it was Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor. One kick out there by Rollins. Dominik trying to get a roll up there. It seems to be working on him. Maybe he can use it to his advantage. I don't know. But yeah, one of those things. I believe it was Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch got the win by a count out that night, if I'm not mistaken. Nonetheless, geez, Dominik get those shots right to the face and a super kick right down. That was on the build to Night Champions. No pay-per-view that happened in Saudi Arabia. Now we're going to another one, and we got a mixed tag action between Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and the Judgment Day. Kick out there by Rollins after a super kick. Nonetheless, Dominik's trying to get back, and another kick out there instantly. I don't think Dominik quite believes what this is supposed to be happening there. Jeez, shot right to the face, and forearm there. Dominik's like, why is my super kick not working as well? Anyways, Rollins now, what's he looking up for here? Phoenix splash right to Dominik Mysterio. What a thing of beauty. Goes for that cover. 2. Kick out there. Oof. I don't know what's happening with the technical difficulties. I mean, the ring count's not quite coming up yet, but what? Kick out there by Rollins. Yeah, again, Dominik looking for another roll-up. Jeez. Because I think it's getting to Dominik now. How much he's been proved to be the weakest link a little bit. And nonetheless, kick there. Rollins blocks. Jeez, Rollins going to work here. We're still yet to see the women be tagged into this matchup yet. Rollins, ripcord knee strike right to Dominik. And jeez, now Rollins going right after those knees and the legs of dirty Dominik Mysterio. Jeez, and a kick right to the back. And a leg drop right to the back of their head. Jeez, Rollins being brutal right now. Just stomping and leg dropping right in front of Rhea Ripley, and there's nothing Rhea can do about it. Indeed, of course, the men fight the men, the women fight the women. No intergender wrestling here in WWE. Jesus, Rollins now asking Dominik to get back up. Though we've seen crazier things happen than intergender matches, so maybe one day. Who knows, we'll see. As of right now, the mixed tag rules state otherwise. As Rollins now just having control of the match, having his way with Dominik Mysterio. Like I said, geez, another super kick there by Rollins. Now going for that cover. Seems to be the theme of this matchup a little bit. 2. Kick out there by Dominik. Like I said, Dominik's just trying to prove he's not the weakest link. That'd be huge by getting a win over the former WWE Universal Champion. Jeez, another super kick. And the one that's challenging for the WWE Universal Championship. No matter what, jeez, Rhea Ripley gets that shot in right at Rollins there. Jeez, that was cheap. Rollins not too happy about it. Dominik and Mysterio taking advantage of it. Jeez, I think Rollins' head just bounced off that bottom turnbuckle. I don't quite know, though. There were some reverberations in the ring ropes there, and Dominik trying to escape out of Rollins' harm's way. Now it's Rhea and Becky, jeez, but Rollins was not planned to be there. Sorry, he wasn't supposed to be there, and he didn't mean to be there. He didn't mean to be right in front of Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley took advantage of it. Now Rhea Ripley posing. I mean, these two had some issues as well, especially because like this whole thing has been, this Built to Night Champions have just been teasing the whole Rollins versus Balor thing by just having Rollins and allies take on the Judgment Day, excluding Finn Balor. But Damien Priest is in that King of the Ring tournament matchup next week. He's been in that. He's been doing okay. Taking on Cody Rhodes no less, so it's going to be difficult. Becky Lynch get those elbows right to the head. These two had a steel cage match a handful of weeks ago. Jeez. Very good one. Rhea Ripley walked out on top. They were also in the women's WWE Women's Championship match at Backlash. Triple threat match against Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton walked away with a win there. Here's Becky Lynch. Up to the middle rope here. Now looking for a moonsault. Jeez, doesn't quite get all of it, but gets enough of it from Rhea Ripley. I'd say actually Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley had the most amount of matches against each other this season. Kick out there by one by Rhea Ripley. Considering I think they had some match on the build to Backlash. I believe they had 2 if I'm not mistaken. Where Becky Lynch walked away with I believe it was a draw on the first Smackdown, and on the second Smackdown to Backlash, it was a DQ. Or was the way around? I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. And nonetheless, that's what built to Becky and Rhea versus Tiffany Stratton, because Rhea Ripley already earned their spot against Tiffany Stratton, where Becky Lynch was able to get her way into it by that draw and that DQ win. So this is their fifth match they're having against each other, though, in different variations, of course. 2 one-on-one matches. One was a no countout, I believe, so I believe the countout one was first, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, then the triple threat match, and then a steel cage one-on-one match, and now a mixed tag match. Like I said, their 5th match between the 2 of them, and we haven't even got to the 2nd pay-per-view of the season yet. Not even quite sure what week we are into it yet. I believe this is week 5 on the build to King and Queen of the Ring, which we had 2 weeks on the build to Backlash. I believe this is week 7, so not even 2 proper full months. And these 2 already wrestled 5 times. 1, 2, kick out there. These 2 getting very familiar with each other. Proven out here by having a very good competition against each other right now. And they had a few matches last season as well. Jeez, oof. One for the women's title at Night of Champions, no less. Jeez, kicking midsection, no counter there by Becky Lynch. Dragon Screw. Others were to earn matches against Tiffany Stratton back at other pay-per-views. Rhea Ripley was able to walk out with a win at one point to get her match first. Becky Lynch had to wait then, and then ended up defeat Rhea Ripley in a no-holds-barred match. Jeez, with a Tiffany Stratton distraction, so plenty of back and forths there between these 2 women. Jeez, oof, tossing Becky Lynch aside there. And now the drop kick, and like I mentioned, the mixed tag on the belt tonight champions about a year ago now. Tags in Seth Rollins there. And Rollins out. Jeez, oh, Dominik gets that clothesline. Fair play, Dominik. Dominik's actually got the advantage here. Was not expecting that. And Dominik telling the crowd to shut up. Maybe we should be focused on Rollins instead of the crowd. As Rollins now looking for a roll up on Dominik. 1, 2, is this going to be it? Oh no, Dominik fires off Rollins. Jeez, poof. Like I said, these 2 have had less interactions. I believe a WWE Universe Championship match was had between these 2 at one point. More to just annoy Finn Balor more than anything than Dominik deserving it, but nonetheless, Dominik had it. He's now pushing Rollins off. Like I said, not as much history between these 2 as there is between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, of course, like I said, proven there. Jeez, oh, Rhea Ripley, maybe should have been focusing on Becky Lynch there. Or she was like doing like a war cry or something, but geez, a headbutt there. Becky Lynch proving what she shouldn't be Rhea Ripley shouldn't be taunting, and then Becky Lynch has just been caught up in that regard there. Jeez, I told you the back and forth between those 2. Jeez, Becky Lynch counters that one. Sending Rhea into the corner now. I think we're having jeez, Dolph. Becky Lynch fades that one there and gets a punch the 2nd time there. Jeez. On a shot there, right to the chest of Rhea Ripley. We're having some quicker tags here now. We had some longer one-on-one situations, and now we're getting the quicker tags as Rollins and Becky Lynch looking for a double tag team maneuver. Looking for a double suplex. Jeez. And now Rollins. Oh, off the middle rope. Boost. Oh, what a finger beauty. I wish I could do that. Cover hooks the leg. 1, 2. Kick out there by Dominik. But jeez, that shoulder did not look good. Jeez. You get a medic in on that. That shoulder did not look good. That looked near dislocated at that point. Kind of look, it slivered like a snake almost. Dominik's arm's not going to be in a good way after that. Super kick by Rollins. It seems to be the theme of this one-on-one pairing between these 2. Just super kick after super kick after super kick. Though we've seen more in a match before, I believe. Anyways, Rollins now hanging Dominik off the rope. Jeez. Rollins now just grabbing Dominik and now just bouncing his face off that turnbuckle. Rollins yet again just having his way with Dominik. I think Dominik's just feeling the pain from his arm there. Only fair. Now he's feeling it from his head a lot. Like just being his head just bounced repeatedly into that turnbuckle and a shot right there as well. Jeez. And now Rollins yet again. Doof. And a forearm takes down Dominik. And now Rollins is making a stomp in right on the face. Not the curb stomp. Just a regular stomp right to the face and now a face rake. Jeez. Then a kick. Oh! Dominik gets out of that one. Jeez, dodge that one out again. Oh, but not that 3rd one. This didn't quite have him enough to dodge the 3rd one. Jeez, and that combo by Rollins there. Dominik, he's trying to fight and bless him. I just don't think he's got it in him. Jeez, and now Rollins. Oh, bouncing that face right off the turnbuckle. Jeez. Down again, right in front of Becky Lynch. Jeez. I think Becky Lynch talking some trash there. She's got her head nodding away. He's just talking some trash right to Dominik as he goes back down. Jeez. Rollins. I believe that was the hurt arm. I want to look dislocated. I believe it was that arm, no less. And Rollins just been attacking that now too. Jeez. And Rollins now right into the corner of Judgment Day there. Just showing off right in front of Rhea Ripley. Rollins having his control, his way over with Dominik Mysterio and now having this domination. Like I said, if anybody needs this win, it's Rollins. Needs to prove that he's worthy of that championship match. Jeez, keep that momentum going though. To be fair, knocking off Rollins would be huge for Dominik, so maybe Dominik needs it more, especially the way he is right now after that pedigree. Dominik's just feeling this all right now. Jeez, Rollins playing distraction. And Rhea gets taken down by Becky Lynch and another super kick there right to Dominik. And Rollins now looking for a curb stomp. Jeez, Rhea Ripley's gone right to the stairs. Jeez, and Rollins with a curb stomp there. Jeez. And Rollins now. What's Rollins got in store for Dominik? Clearly not done after that curb stomp. Sending Dominik into the corner. Jeez, and that was an interesting move. And now curb stomp again, but off the springboard this time. Surely that's it. 1, 2. Oh, Rhea Ripley comes in to save the matchup. I don't know how much shaving and how long it's going to do. If Dominik's done for, I think maybe. But Becky Lynch looks done for there a little bit on the outside too. Must have gone into the stairs herself as well. Jeez. Well, afterwards, said by Rhea Ripley. But Rollins knows he's got nobody to tag into, so it doesn't benefit him. So he's just going to have to keep attacking Dominik. Which Dominik's in a bad way right now, I think that's for sure. After those 2 curb stomps, especially one was a springboard, no less. Jeez. Rollins now just looking to just batter the hell out of Dominik. Oh, Rhea Ripley's just gone chin first and into the apron there. Jeez, and then a knee right to the back of Dominik. And again. Down a 3rd. Down a 4th. And a 5th. Jeez. Dominik's not looking in a good way right now. And Dominik being sent into that corner again. Jeez, they're now just hanging on the ropes there. Dominik near life loss. And he's a curb stomp there. Rhea Ripley fight Becky Lynch. Can Becky Lynch just try Rhea Ripley in time for this pinfall here? 1, 2, 3, and does so. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch with the win here tonight. I think that's Becky Lynch down. I think Rhea Ripley just took her down, but was not quick enough to get that win here tonight. Sure, Rhea Ripley got that win in that steel cage match, got the last laugh in the one-on-one situation, but maybe Becky Lynch gets that final last laugh overall. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how the match goes at King and Queen of the Ring, if it does happen. But we've got to find out next week if Finn Balor is cleared. Teddy Long has enough time to find an opponent for Rollins at King and Queen of the Ring. And like I said, it seems that Rollins is pulling for a Finn Balor recovery, but just enough to he can pry the championship off his dead cold hands. Jeez, nonetheless, Becky Lynch, 1, 2, kick out there, of course. Don't know what was going on there. My brain took over a little bit then. Of course, we're in the replay. Rollins already won. Jeez, it was a much longer replay than we had in the prior matchup. Jeez, this matchup went for longer, of course. Jeez, and like I said, a little bit of an obliteration of Dominik Mysterio was there. And Rollins, jeez, oof, like I said, walked out of the win, dominant. There, maybe sending a message to Finn Balor. Maybe, you know, I mean, the issues have been issues between Balor, JD, Carlito, and the rest of the Judgment Day. But I guess we'll have to see how things progress as time goes on and Balor's recovery situation.
Here are your winners, the team of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins.
Well, congratulations to these two on winning tonight's mixed tag action. So, Ilja, you happy now? I won a match. Is that good enough for you? Not that it matters, but just out of professional curiosity. You know I am. I would have preferred if it was the other way around, then it acted as a number 1 contender matchup, and that earned you the spot at King Queen of the Ring. But we got there in the end. Even if it was the wrong way around, we've had both situations still, I guess. So that is something, to say the least. Well, good. You best get going then, because you got a fatal 4-way with this man Tonga Loa involved in that matchup as well. So good luck. You're going to need it, champ. I'll see you out there, Tonga. Let's have a good match. Well then, looks like there seems to be some sportsmanship. No, I don't know. Maybe some. I'm just trying to figure out a word in my head that says that they're getting along seemingly okay for champion and challenger. Maybe a little bit of respect shown there, though. Definitely deserved for one. Ilja Dragunov, the undefeated man, went completely undefeated last season, still undefeated this season. Well, the closest he's had to that is the draw against Omos in a 5-minute challenge matchup. So proves the kind of competitor that Ilja Dragunov is.
The following contest Making his way to the ring from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Ilja Dragunov.
It's going to be difficult to keep this man down. I mean, even if he's not involved in the decision, it's still going to be very difficult for his opponent to do what they need to do against him to get the win. Like I said, Axiom could very much well pin a different member of this matchup, and Ilja would lose, and he would lose the undefeated status. But Ilja is one tough guy, one resilient guy, and he's going to do everything he can to keep the undefeated streak going. Well on the way to King Queen the Ring match against Sikoa and beyond, but we'll see how that goes tonight.
And his opponents, first, representing Roxanne from Madrid, Spain, weighing in at 154 pounds, Axiom.
Of course, I mentioned about technicalities. Of course, it's kind of like one of those like crime scene balls where you got like lines going absolutely everywhere. That's how this is going in this match, and I'll explain it when we get into the match about all the relations and stuff like that.
And representing the Judgment Day from San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 220 pounds,
Well, Dominik and Rhea and Ripley were unsuccessful earlier on tonight. Can Judgment Day compatriot Carlito be successful tonight? I guess I'll have to find out in this fatal four-way, shall we? But out comes the other champion in this matchup.
And from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 230 pounds, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Tonga.
Before we get into this matchup, don't forget, Tonga isn't the only member of the Bloodline in action tonight. Jacob Fatu was taking on Joe Hendry in the King of the Ring quarterfinal matchup in the main event. And like I said, talk about championship matches. We have the WWE Tag Team Championship match and the United States Championship match happening at King Queen of the Ring. But right now we have this fatal four-way. So let's get it on without further ado. Ilja seems ready. Axiom seems ready. So does Carlito. He looks kind of hungry. I think he's missing his apple. And Tonga ready to get going. So like I said, two champions in this matchup. It's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Like I said, a champion is guaranteed to lose this match. Maybe two. Because like I said, Carlito could very much well pin Axiom. Like, neither champion could be involved in the decision, but I guess we're going to have to see how that goes. Of course, Tonga one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions alongside Tonga. Ilja Dragunov, the United States Champion. The only champion we've seen in over a year. Jeez, of course, won the championship off Dominik Mysterio, no less, at Backlash last year to begin the season, and still holding on to that United States title. Still here right now. So does Sikoa be the one to take it off him? I don't know. Nonetheless, of course, like I said, I was going to talk about all the different like branches and stuff. Of course, there is Ilja Dragunov with his United States title match taking on Sikoa. Of course, Sikoa part of the Bloodline. Ilja took on Tonga a few weeks ago, now taking on Tonga inside this fatal four-way matchup. So that is one situation, Joan. Of course, we're talking then about move from Tonga still. The WWE Tag Team Championship matchup is, of course, the Judgment Day versus the Tonga brothers. Being Tonga and Tonga. Of course, Tonga in this matchup. Taking on JD McDonough and Carlito. Of course, Carlito in this matchup. So there is another tie. Oh, geez, what a spear right to Ilja. And of course, Carlito, part of the Judgment Day, has been feuding with Seth Rollins and friends. And of course, one of those friends, maybe the furthest one, but still there, Axiom, of course, being part of a tag team partner with Nathan Fraser, who being the protege to Seth Rollins. So yeah, we can keep all that going. So that's kind of where this fatal four-way match comes in. It kind of branches off a little bit like that. I mean, Ilja and Axiom, they're on good terms. Jeez, boof. They've tag teamed up before now to take on the Bloodline. Jeez. When the Bloodline took... Jeez, Dawn and Sek Poof. And when Solo and Jimmy Uso took the SmackDown Tag Team Championships from Nathan Fraser and Axiom. So there's some history there between Axiom and the Bloodline. Of course, a very different Bloodline now because I had Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns, and now it's sort of Sikoa's Bloodline that has Tonga in it. But still... Even if it's a little bit of a throwback, well, not throwback, but you know what I mean. Jeez, Axiom, ball. He's, like I said, still a bit of a loose connection at the very least. Axiom still has issues with the bloodline, and so does Sikoa being one of them. Jimmy Uso seemingly redeemed himself in some ways, maybe to some. Jeez, of course we saw earlier on Jimmy Uso offering his help to Joe Hendry. Jeez, maybe not, maybe just siding with Roman Reigns, who's to say? Who Axiom's got fully cool with. I guess we'll see, but geez, the clothesline, Ilja's still going to keep this 100. He's still going to go at this and treat everybody like a fair competitor. Jeez, whether he likes him or he doesn't. Or he's feuding with him or he's not. Jeez, gets that clothesline right, Tonga lower there. Like I said, Axiom is part of a tag team. Jeez, breaks the king. Oh, and also, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Axiom and Fraser were in the WWE Tag Team Championship 2 out of 3 falls match at Backlash, which Tonga lower and Tonga won. So there's also a little bit there as well, of course. But like I said, still part of a tag team, no less so. If he could pin Tonga lower, that could be very helpful in staying his case or maybe getting the next shot after Night Champions. Don't know Night Champions. King Queen of the Ring. Jeez, oh, Carlito catches the clothesline. I feel like the same said could be same to Carlito to an extent, being one of the #1 contenders, though not quite the champion. I don't think it'd make a stake as much of a claim, but still a claim nonetheless. Jeez, and of course, if anything, a knock off Ilja Dragunov, no less. I think even winning this matchup, even if Ilja Dragunov's on pin, but if he is pinned, I feel like that could be something to say. Because technically, even if they don't pin Ilja Dragunov, they're still the one to break the undefeated streak of Ilja Dragunov. Of course, he's only taken 1 draw in over a season. That was a 5-minute challenge timer matchup against Omos where they ended up doing a draw. So not a loss, it was only through a 5-minute time limit draw. Jeez. So it proves the way that Ilja Dragunov is. Jeez. Oh, dropping Ilja right on his head. You know, that Rikishi driver, that's not going to put him down. Well, it might have done. We don't know. Carlito, though, taking advantage, rolling up Tonga lower. 1, 2. Kick out there. There been a sledgehammer is involved in this match, of course, fatal 4-way. No disqualification. Jeez. Seems like Ilja Dragunov and Carlito are going to be the 2 on the inside. Axiom is on the outside. Jeez, picks up a chair. No, starts going to attack Tonga lower. But Axiom's been chucked into... Oh, he was chucked into the stairs, but he was able to caught himself. Jeez. We're now doing something. Who broke the barricade? Who got sentenced to that? It was probably Axiom and Carlito. I saw them flying out there, and Axiom going flying off it at one point. Nonetheless, Ilja goes flying off that middle rope. But it's hard to keep on top of 2 different things happening at once, especially when you're trying to give law to the match. Like I said, how this is building up multiple different matches at the pay-per-view and fueling different rivalries all at the same time. Gee, that Canadian Destroyer by Axiom on the outside, the Tonga lower. I think that was. Or maybe a Spanish Destroyer, I guess. Yeah, because that seems to be the way you do it. Even though you say Spanish Destroyer, even though he's Spanish, why would destroy Spanish, but you know what I mean. Anyways, it's Axiom from Madrid, Spain. Gee, oh! He dodged this kendo stick throw, but he got a golden ratioed. And Carlito breaks it up though. Jeez, that was a very smart play by Axiom. Throws the kendo stick. Ilja dodges that, but then goes right into the golden ratio. That was smart. And Carlito, I think he wants to pin Ilja, but he sees Tonga lower, but he's gone for it anyways. He realised Ilja was getting up and he quickly went back for it. The Tonga lower broke it up as Carlito expected. Carlito wasn't 100% sure what to do there, but nonetheless, we've got 3 weapons in the ring now. Jeez, the chair, the kendo stick, and a sledgehammer. I don't know why my head registered the sledgehammer was named kendo stick for a minute, and so I was struggling to figure out what the name of the kendo stick was. But nonetheless, Carlito now gets a spine buster right on Ilja Dragunov. Everybody's down except Carlito. Oh, I'll say that. And then everybody started moving. No, Ilja moved to the outside and on his back again. But Axiom and Tonga lower. Oh, Axiom. Jeez. Snap. German. Covering. Jeez. Tonga lower. Don't forget about that Canadian Destroyer. So Spanish Destroyer on the outside. Jeez. Kick out there by Tonga lower. Jeez. Oof. Like I said, there's a possible, is it 50% chance that a champion gets pinned in this matchup? That sounds like the odds, considering there's 2 of the 4. But jeez, like I said, one of them's a set of challenges. So Axiom, I feel like everybody needs this win the most. Like I said, not tonight, champions, the only one that isn't. Ilja Dragunov with a power bomb and it'd send a message no matter who he pins. Like I pointed out, one was a contender for as one of the challengers for the championship at Night Champions, the Tag Team Championship. One is one half of the Tag Team Champions, and one is the United States Champion. I feel like it'd be a big pin for any of those. That's the second killer stick being brought into the mix now. And I've seen, is there an apple next to the announce table? Jeez. Oof. Ilja now stalking Carlito. You know, as much as Tonga lower and Axiom may seem distracted now, doesn't mean they will be when Ilja Dragunov was pinning Carlito if he was going to after that kendo stick. So Ilja Dragunov making sure to try and stay on top of it. It's very difficult with a fail 4. You never know if you can rely on people being distracted or not. It's hard to say. Oh, Ilja Dragunov getting that H-bomb right to Tonga on the outside. Tonga has not had a fun time on the outside tonight. Jeez. You know. Electing not to pin Tonga. Maybe this is exactly what he was expecting. Jeez. Torpedo Moscow. I think he was expecting Axiom to try and get out of the way and he didn't. Jeez, oh, gets it that time. Torpedo Moscow. Right to Axiom. But jeez, Ilja knows the Tonga and Carlito are up. Jeez, Carlito gets that elbow. And Ilja, I think he's trying to keep down Axiom for a second here. Tonga, jeez, acknowledging Solo Sikoa, but Ilja Dragunov takes him down. No, he's not having any of that. Jeez. Gets that sent on right to Carlito. Axiom biding his time. Ilja. Jeez. Axiom gets the shoulder block. Gets the kick. No, Ilja counters. Chop. Into the corner. Just sending shots right into the... Jeez. Just absolutely unloaded on Axiom. Jeez. Close on the Tonga. Ilja Dragunov's on fire right now. Jeez. Oh, accidentally rides into chest pat on. I don't think he meant to do that. Carlito's bringing the third kendo stick in the match in. Jeez. Right to Axiom. Oh. And now, jeez, Tonga with the Kamagoye, close onto the back of the head. Tonga falls right on the knee of Carlito. And now, Ilja Dragunov about to tackle him, and then he expects to get it first because he was the last one to receive, the first one to receive a move. You know what I mean. Anyways, Ilja Dragunov goes to the cover on Axiom. 1, 2, 3. Ilja Dragunov gets the win over Axiom here tonight. Jeez. Carlito finally thinking this is very not cool. And he loses the match here tonight. Like I said, Ilja, very smart going for Axiom. Because, of course, Axiom got hit by a kendo stick. Then Carlito got hit by a knee. And then Tonga got the clothesline. So Axiom out of those three was the least recent to get hit. So Ilja made sure to keep him down by attacking him. And relied on the fact that Carlito might not get up in time. Which he was very much right in doing. So if you're worrying about the strategy of that situation, which nonetheless doesn't matter if you worry about it or not. Ilja Dragunov got the win nonetheless. A strong showing out here. I told you it's very difficult. Oh, was Ilja Dragunov busted open? I don't think he was busted open. I didn't really notice. It's hard when it's zoomed down. There's 4 people. Whereas when there's 2. And yeah, this proves why Ilja Dragunov is the United States champion in a way it has been for so long. Even winning fatal 4-way carnages like this. He's just having... Oh, even Axiom's head got squished between his forearm on the sledgehammer stick as well. I didn't even realise that. Absolutely brutal to Axiom. Jeez. Oof.
Here is your winner, Ilja Dragunov.
Well, congrats to Ilja on winning this match. Whether you meant to squish Axiom's head or not. But yeah, he's definitely busted open there. It was a fight through that. But nonetheless, I think it was that golden ratio because that was a mental golden ratio after that. Being like Ilja having to dodge the kendo stick. I think Axiom can catch him very well. But anyways, move on from a member of a bloodline into a match into another member of the bloodline. Can Jacob Fatu do what Tonga was not able to do tonight, and that is win a match? And that would mean he did advance in the King and Queen in the King Ring tournament, and take on either Damian Priest or Cody Rhodes in 2 weeks' time. I guess I have to see how that goes. But nonetheless, the Samoan Werewolf is out here.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Is it elected to bring nobody out here tonight? I guess Jimmy's worries were in vain, I guess, and doesn't have to worry about it. Seemingly Jacob Fatu coming out by himself. Jeez, oh, Tonga taking out Jimmy Uso. What's going on here? Oh, Tonga has just returned back from his match here. Jeez. I guess this is why there's no bloodline out here. Because the Tongans are fighting Jimmy Uso. Jeez, now just trying to bury him under a table. Jeez. Tonga just taking out his frustrations after losing that match. It was Tonga's always trying to walk away. Jeez. And I guess Jimmy's not going to be able to help out this man here tonight. But if you believe in this man, then there's nothing he can't do. I mean, he won this TNA World Championship through the power of belief, so can he win this matchup through the power of belief?
And his opponent from Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 231 pounds, the total non-stop action world champion, Joe Hendry.
Well, I'm sure everybody's believing in Joe Hendry, but will it be enough anyways? Let's not forget. Well, let's tell you what we got in store for you next week. Like I was mentioning, the King Ring other quarterfinal match of Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest. Of course, k&qotr, the other Queen of the Ring quarterfinal on the SmackDown side of things, of course. Thea, Candice, right after the situation that happened earlier on tonight. We're getting a rematch next week. And also we're going to find out about Finn Balor's status, about being cleared, medically or not, for King Queen of the Ring. But right now, the main event, Joe Hendry, Jacob Fatu, one-on-one. We'll see who will take on the winner of Cody versus Priest. So without further ado, Jacob Fatu looks very ready. He looks ready, so about to slice through Joe Hendry. Jeez, got a little bit of a brawl last week between these two men, and Jake, that's exactly what Joe Hendry's planning to do right now. Just absolutely just slice through Joe Hendry. Jeez. Oof. Like I said, it's going to take a bit more than a belief, I think, to get past Jacob Fatu. We saw what he did to Jimmy Uso a few weeks ago. I think that's why Jimmy Uso was offering the help. He knows how difficult it is to deal with Jacob Fatu alone, yet alone the entire bloodline. Jeez. Off the headbutt right there to Joe Hendry. Saying another man that feels that way is Kevin Owens. Jeez. I mean, the whole situation, back at Backlash, geez, Jacob Fatu debuted here in WWE alongside Solo Sikoa. Well, Solo Sikoa's Solo Sikoa did debut, but he came up right next to him. And they both attacked Ilja Dragunov and Kevin Owens in that United States title match, costing Kevin Owens the match. Which arguably maybe Kevin Owens could have been the man to dethrone Ilja Dragunov at that point. It looks very possible at that one point. Even after Ilja kicked out of the package partner through the announce table, Ilja looks like Owens was setting up for another stun, and that would have been it probably. Jeez. But Fatu and Solo cost the match because we know Solo wants to dethrone Ilja, because the last thing Roman did before taking on The Rock was take on Ilja for the United States title, so he wanted to do what his predecessor couldn't. So they did that, and then Jacob Fatu got attacked by Kevin Owens the next night on SmackDown. Well, the next Friday on SmackDown. Jeez. Jacob Fatu sending him punch right there to Jacob Fatu. Sorry, Joe Hendry, sorry. And got injured by Jacob Fatu by just being chucked off the office, along with other moves. So yeah, very much, jeez, oof. Very much a dangerous situation right now. That's an extra situation between Ilja and Tonga that was going on about that fatal four-way. I forgot to mention, jeez. I said the situation between all that. Jeez. I guess it was a quick thing when I just said championship matchup, but nonetheless, Jacob Fatu, jeez, oh, Joe Hendry. We're looking to finally build some momentum in this matchup. Jeez, it's not going to be easy. As I said, Jacob Fatu is very much the Samoan werewolf. He is very much an animal. And Joe Hendry, you're trying to take the adulation from the crowd. Jeez, trying to get to feel that belief in them. Jeez, gets that gut wrench suplex, but no, Jacob Fatu gets that kick to the head. Jeez, oh, super. No, Joe Hendry gets out of harm's way. And Joe Hendry now. Push it leg sweep. Jeez. And now up to the middle rope. Gets that splash right to Jacob Fatu. Jeez, what's Joe got in store for Jacob now? What's he feel like he's got to do to keep Jacob down? Jeez, slamming him right in the center of the ring. Jeez. Oh, and Jacob Fatu yet again. I think Jacob Fatu just proving the metal. I mean, we talk about who maybe some of the most resilient superstars on the entire WWE brand. People like Johnny Gargano, people like Sami Zayn, but I think, and people like Ilja Dragunov as well. But I feel like this man has to take the cake. Maybe there's also, I always argue the difference between toughness and resilience and heart. Maybe Jacob Fatu is more toughness than resilience and heart. But nonetheless, whatever it is, whatever the reason, the outcome is still that he may be arguably the hardest to keep down. Jeez, Jacob Fatu. I'll mention Ilja Dragunov. I would like to see those two lock it up at some point down the line. I guess we'll see how it goes. Maybe it might be for the United States title if Solo Sikoa is not successful at King Queen of the Ring. That'd be a very, very great match. Jeez, Jacob Fatu just pops right back after Joe Hendry was taking a quick breather. Jeez. And now Jacob Fatu gets that moonsault this time. Jeez. Covers. 1, 2. Kick out there by Joe. Jeez, Jacob Fatu is on a war right now. Jeez. Oof. Shot right to the throat. Sorry. Jeez. Jacob Fatu, no Joe Hendry. Joe kicks the midsection. And Jacob going to shot. I don't think Joe Hendry wants to be doing this. I don't think he wants to be trading blows with Jacob Fatu. I do not think this is a good idea, but Joe counters that nonetheless. Jeez. Danny counters that one again. Jeez. Joe Hendry might have the advantage. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this isn't such a bad idea after all. And now Joe Hendry gets that discus clothesline. Joe Hendry, he's making me believe maybe he can do this. That's for sure. The crowd seems to be feeling the same way. Jeez, and a powerbomb. I think that's maybe a bit of a message from Kevin Owens there. Jeez, 1, 2, kick out there. I mean, Joe Hendry's proved his toughness. I mean, we saw who he took on to get to Jacob Fatu. He beat Pete Dunne, who was a very strong IC champion, and it took a match against Ilja Dragunov to defeat him at one point, and then trying to like batter him down from there. That was the first, and the first and the biggest stone that brought to his loss and stuff. But nonetheless, Joe Hendry looking to end this match with a stand-in ovation right to Jacob Fatu. That's got to be it, surely. Come on, 1, 2. Oh, Fatu kicked out. There we go. These are proofs of toughness there from Fatu. I don't think Joe Hendry can believe it. Jeez. Jacob Fatu now. Boof. Doof. Jeez, I mean, whatever we got to say to Joe Hendry, just don't stop believing. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Again, Jacob Fatu with the senton. Oof. And Jacob Fatu now sending Joe Hendry into the corner. Jeez, oh, a shot right to the midsection of his shoulder there. And Fatu now acknowledging Solo. I think the first time that Solo, that Jacob Fatu's taking a little quick second there. Jeez. Doof. And Jacob Fatu, jeez. Doof. Now, Fatu, there we go. Jeez, that hip attack right to Joe Hendry. Jeez. And now Fatu with the moonsault right to Joe Hendry. Oh, he's not done. He's not done. We saw him dish out multiple to Jimmy Uso, though this isn't a moonsault. What's this from Jacob Fatu? Jesus, swanton right to Joe Hendry. Jeez, and now Jacob Fatu looking to send a message. Jeez, right to Joe Hendry. Another moonsault there. Jeez, and now Jacob Fatu maybe showing the tiniest scrap of mercy. 1, 2, 3. Jacob Fatu, dominant win here tonight. Jeez, gets a win over the TNA World Champion, no less, as well. Jeez, like I said, it's going to take everything to beat this man. Like I said, oof. Very much would like to see that match between him and Ilja at one point. Like I said, they very much could be the difference of who is the toughest superstar, who can dish out the most punishment. We saw the match with Ilja and John Moxley a while ago, and Ilja was able to come on top of this one. Maybe this is the new big challenge, the new big dream match for Ilja Dragunov, but I guess we'll have to see as time progresses how that goes. But nonetheless, Joe Hendry was not successful here tonight, and that means Jacob Fatu's advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Of course, we don't know who he's going to be taking on in 2 weeks' time. It'd be Cody Rhodes or Damian Priest, who've both proven to be tough superstars. But I guess we'll have to see about that next week, about who Jacob Fatu will take on. But in the meantime, Jacob Fatu wins the main event here tonight. The Bloodline are 1-1 tonight, so Jacob Fatu was able to at least bring some wins to the Bloodline, unlike Tonga here tonight. But it's the way Fatal 4-Ways go sometimes. But nonetheless, like I said, Jacob Fatu advances in their King of the Ring tournament. Oh, come on, hold on a minute. Jacob Fatu attacking Joe Hendry after the match. This just is not needed. This is absolutely not needed at all. Jeez, he attacked Jimmy Uso after the match as well. And then he attacked Joe Hendry after Joe Hendry's match against Pete Dunne. Jeez. Oof. And Jacob Fatu now, jeez. Springboard crossbody, jeez, just turning Joe Hendry around, jeez. Don't want to stomp right to the back of their head, jeez, and again. Jeez, and now Jacob Fatu, another moonsault. Jeez, this is just not needed to Joe Hendry. Jeez, and now DDT. Jeez, Jacob Fatu. Oh, and now another. Oh, this is not moves. Oh, that's jeez. Whisper in the wind type situation. Down again. Jeez. And Jacob Fatu looking for another move. So hold on, what's going on here? Wait, it can't be. Okay, he's come back from injury. We weren't sure when he was going to come back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Kevin Owens. Jeez, he's all fired up. Kevin Owens, the war cry, and starts chasing after Jacob Fatu. Jeez, Jacob, no, Kevin Owens now, jeez, just chopping away at Jacob Fatu. Jeez, oh, Kevin Owens, oh, package, pile driver right to Fatu, jeez. And I was sent on. Owens is not done. He knows how much it takes to keep Jacob Fatu down. He tried backstage a number of weeks ago. Maybe this is what it takes. Package power drivers and then just an onslaught after that. Jeez. Some stomps and that senton. Jeez. And Kevin Owens doesn't seem to be done with Fatu. What's Owens looking for here? And I'll just toss in Fatu to the outside. Jeez. Owens now. Look at Lynch. Got that elbow padded up. Wrist taped up. Oh, Owens. Oh, I think I know what he's looking for. This might do the job after the... Oh, Vapor Powerbomb. Jeez. Not long after that package pile driver and then standing in the ring after his match with Hendry, where he got a standing ovation. Maybe that's enough to keep Jacob Fatu down at least for the momentary. And Kevin Owens feeling all of that from the crowd. Kevin Owens is back, ladies and gentlemen. And he's back with a vengeance against Jacob Fatu. Okay, I can't wait for those two to lock up properly in a matchup. But nonetheless, Kevin Owens stands tall here tonight to end Smackdown upon his return.